Yeah, sorry about that. I am currently in the trade. T-low, I'm at 306. I'm going to switch over to a 15-second chart just to at 306, 323. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get out completely. So I bought it at 306 and I sold at 319. I'm going to run and get some coffee. That was the first trade for the day, was TELO. Oh, and that is why you get out. Don't overstay your welcome. But TELO is looking good. Came up on RVOL Scanner. TELO. I went on ahead and played it. I'm not going to play it again just because I don't want to be taken. I'm not going to play it again just because I don't want to give up the profits that I've already made. TELO, I started getting in, it was right here on this candle because it started breaking. It looked like it was going to break the VWAP. So, and the volume started picking up. So TELO, it was right in here. The volume started coming in. I got in as we broke this candle right here. I think that was 306. Yep. I got in at 306. We retraced back here, but my stop was down here, and I didn't have too many shares. It's not like I had like 10,000 shares. I was just getting in, testing the waters, and as it broke with 306 here, because the VWAP is well, the VWAP now is 307, and then we came up here, got in at 306, got out at 319. 319 is right here as we started retracing back. That's when I got out. We can go to the 15-second chart. 15-second chart, you can see right here that the MACD is curling up. We've got like an inside bar right here. We got the volume picking up. The inside bar was kind of big on volume. That's why I just didn't get in. And right here, as we broke the VWAP at 307, I saw the volume coming in. So that's when I got in. Now we started moving back down. And if I was thinking, because I was just on my first cup of coffee, I would have added to the trade as we broke this. But I just wasn't thinking very quickly. And I could have added a couple thousand more. So. But it is what it is. It was a decent trade. Now, I fixed the latency issue. Yesterday, I had it wrong. I had it on normal latency, and yesterday I bumped up my, I think the bit rate to 13,500, and I bumped up to ultra low latency. So you should, like right there, if I take that away, only a couple seconds. So, but a couple seconds matters in this game. Okay, so I've updated the, get rid of this. Go back here. So I updated the scanner here. If the score, the Ticker Zcan score, the TZ score, if that's below 375, then it's not going to show any background. If it's 375, a score of 375, which means the MACD is curling up right here, it has to be above 0.01, I believe. It'll give it a score, and then if it's above a 15-minute VWAP and above a 2-hour VWAP, it's going to give it another score. And also the 5-minute has to be running up. So now if it's a score of 5, which is a perfect score, then the background, instead of gray, it's going to be green. Yes, it'll be green. And also the volume here. Yesterday there was a problem with the volume. If we switch over to a 1 minute, I mean, this is showing like 100,000 on TradingView, but this is showing like close to 300,000, which is fine. Because where I'm getting the data from, I'm using SIP data, so we're getting it from everywhere, like even the dark pools and everything. So this is where the data, the volume 1, the 1 minute volume. I did notice yesterday it was a little crazy. The 1 minute, it wasn't adding up. It wasn't adding up at all. So I think they fixed that, which is fine. I'm glad they did. ME, let's look at TLO, EIP, and there's nothing there that's going on. Got XPawn. I couldn't bring up XPawn. Bring it up here, but I just couldn't bring it up in my broker. I don't know why. They're just not allowing it. ECDA. ECDA is 34-cent stock. That's below the VWAP. Okay, so MEIP has green, as you can see here. MEIP. That's green. That's a perfect score. So if we jump over here and we look at MEIP, there's just not enough data really to do anything. It's not enough volume. It has like 952. Just because it has a good score doesn't mean anything. It has to have volume. Like ECDA has volume. See right here, ECDA has TLO, XPON, and ECDA. If we look at that, that has decent volume. We have WINT. Doesn't have very good volume. We have TLO that's trying to come back up. We have ECD on RVOL for ECDA. Yeah, as you can see here, the volume is definitely coming in. So if we flip over to ECDA, the volume on the 1 minute, it's spiked up. But the problem is I don't like that doji right there. You could have gotten in on the break of that, but you would have been close to been stopped out. But then this right here, that topping tail, I just don't like. What that's showing me is that it ran up, but the sellers pushed it down. As you can see here, it started right here. This is an indecision candle, and then the volume kind of dried up, so you possibly could have gotten in on that break of about 34.7, 34.9. So, I mean, these are like really low penny stocks. I usually don't trade anything under $1. But if you switch over to like 15-second, you'll notice that, yeah, the MACD is curling up, but there's nothing there. Plus, we have an RVOL of like 5. When it starts getting to like RVOL of like 10, that's really good. Also, I updated the RVOL mover. So the RVOL mover, the volume, it's going to have to be 50,000 volume or more for it to show up. It has to be 50,000 or more for it to even show up. ECDA is trying to move. I wouldn't do anything. Like right here was the play. Right here was the play. As you can see here, the MACD is curling up and we have the numbers going up. ECDA doesn't even have, because it's so low. But as the MACD is curling up, you can probably get in on that break right here, 33.5, thinking you're going to get up here to resistance. The 34.5, get yourself a penny. But Tilo was the best one. That was a good trade this morning right here. We got that. I got out at 319, so the high was at 327. Of course, you're never going to get it. If we go here to the 15-second chart, I got in right here at 307 and kind of popped up, then started retracing back. Then I was like, it's pulling back. I was losing a little bit of money, and then I was thinking, okay, if it gets down here, which gets down here, I'm going to be at a 10-cent stop. So, but it didn't. It broke at 306. It came up here to 309. When it retraced and it broke that high, I should have added to the trade, but I didn't. We came up here, and then I could have gotten out at, well, I got out at 319. This 15-second chart, it looks like it was rolling back over, and sure enough, it did. It just rolled right back over. And then all of a sudden, it just didn't show anything else. So, and now here earlier in the morning, which was 6:05, that was a beautiful trade right there. Nice trade. We had an inside bar right there. We had the MACD that was starting to curl up. Once we broke that high right there, could have gotten in. Once it started coming back down here, you get out for about 30 cents. That was a decent trade. As you can see here, if you get in right there, MACD curling up. It's above the session VWAP. It was above a 15-minute VWAP and the 2-hour VWAP. So that's good. VVPR, VVPR, VVPR. That's nothing. 670. Got TLO moving. Looks like it could try to reestablish the VWAP, but I wouldn't touch it because MACD's curling. The MACD's down. The MACD is down, so the sentiment is kind of down. It could push up here and then it start going back up, but I wouldn't trade this possibly. And I mean, the volume is picking up. If we go over to a 30-second chart, yeah, the volume's picking up. It would go to a 15-second chart. Yeah, back to a 30. Yeah, the MACD is starting to curl up. You could have gotten in as this started coming up, but I just don't like it just because we did have a pop. We pulled back, we popped, we could not break the high, and then we're pulling back. So I just don't like that. That's why I'm not playing it, because I've already played it with a pop, and it's back down here. And if you look, the only thing we have up on the scanner now is MNY with news. MNY has Money Hero Group regains compliance with NASDAQ minimum bid price requirement. I wonder what they did. Did they do a reverse split? Who knows? Now, see, TELO is starting to pop, and we had an inside bar right there. We got a TLO, but the TLO, the score, I don't see anything on the score right now. So that's telling me the 15-minute VWAP. If we look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, 15-minute VWAP, it's above that. We got 2 hours, 5:19. Yeah, so I think it's below the VWAP on the 2-hour VWAP. It's kind of below it. So I just wouldn't do anything. Yeah. So it's below a 2-hour VWAP. I might just go to a 1-hour VWAP for the anchor point. And see, that's good. I'm glad I didn't play that. So if you look at this, you'll see that we popped. I made my money right here on this pop, and then I got out, and then because right here was perfect with the VWAP coming in, so it kind of broke it, and we kind of pulled back, almost got stopped out pretty close, and then we kind of popped again. I should have added on that pop right there, but hey. And then I just, in this pop right here, I sold half into the pop, and as we were tracing back, then I got out. But as you can see here, we had an inside bar. We broke that high right there, and this bar right here had some volume. We had an inside bar. It was lower volume. Just because that sets up and you're above the VWAP doesn't mean anything. You have to look at the past. We had a pop, pull back. We had another move up. Did not break the high, and we pulled back. So you are making higher lows. So there's no reason for you to get in, because right here, you're just making higher lows right here. And if you look at this right here, yeah, you could possibly play it off of these bounces right here. You probably, hopefully, play for a bounce and try to get up there. Might get yourself like 6 cents. not worth it. I don't like doing that. I like playing these pops right here. If I was more awake, I could have gotten in on a pretty decent trade. Few thousand shares testing the waters, and as it popped, added a few thousand more. Got out, but I didn't. It was just a starter trade. Small winner. Dude, we got some volume coming in and it's breaking. MNY is not going to do anything. That's at 3,000 volume. VVPR has a score of 1.25, but VVPR is not going to do anything. VVPR. And the reason it's not is just because, well, like 614 in the last 1 minute volume. I mean, the volume there, yeah, so it's like 600. That's not really going to show anything. We've got nothing on the scoring system. We've got WINT with 2,000. We got TILO with 127,000, but the problem with TILO is just nothing. TILO is just sitting there. It broke that trend line, and then it came back up. The MACD is just flatlining. The volume is flatlining. Nothing here. Early on, this was a nice trade right here. We had we started moving up. We had some indecision candles up here. We had a nice green candle right here. Bullish engulfing for these, the past three. That was really nice. And then we had a slight pullback with the volume drying up. And on a 30-second chart, what you could have done is gotten in on the pop right here. You could have gotten in on the break of that right there. Get in on the break of that. And then your stop could have been down there like 10 cents, or it could have been right here at 15 cents. And you ran up. Maybe this didn't break right here. Got out maybe like at 30 cents. Or as it moved up, you could have sold half as it's moving up. When it puts that candle in, you can sell half. And as it breaks this, you can add to the trade, try to get you a little bit more. That's how you play it. You want to add to your winners. You want to cut your losers quick, add to your winners. So many people will do a dollar cost average down, and they'll add to losers. I mean, that's not how you want to play pre-market. That's not how you want to play. That's not how you want to play these low float pump and dumps. They're crap companies. Most of them in 2-3 years are going to be bankrupt. You don't want to be holding the bag. You're not trading these blue chips. Blue chips, sure. When take a look at the SPY. Let's take a look at the daily. So right up in here, when we were moving down, I was buying blue chips. We kind of popped, we moved down, I was buying blue chips. And I was buying good quality companies with good fundamentals. And yes, I was adding to losers. But it's a blue chip company. And then because I knew once we dumped down here, I was like, oh, this is a great deal. And then as we came up here, I started selling. So, but with this, With pre-market, low float, crap companies, you get in, get out. You don't be holding the bag. Holding the bag means you're buying. Holding the bag means you're buying right here, and you're holding it down here, hoping that it's going to go back up. You don't want to do that. These are low float pump and dumps. You're looking for momentum coming in and getting yourself 10, 15, 20, 50 cents. Sometimes you can even get $1. You're just looking for quick moves and go in heavy on volume. So let's take a look at the news. What's coming out? Well, we got 7:30 coming up. Let's not do that right now. So let's see. We've got Y with news. That's nothing. We've got Tilo. So far, the only trade we had was Tilo. Uh, UCDA 5,000. We got X on with 11,000. We got Tilo with 33,000 volume. Yeah, it's just drying up. And we've got CDA. $7:32, the news. The only thing we have here is 7:17 GTLL. That was the latest. MEIP. Yeah, it's got a score of 5, which is perfect, but it's 15,000 volume. It's low. I mean, if we look at MEIP, I mean, you take a look at this, it's kind of low. Could be curling up. The one thing, see, I'm not going to do this, and even if it runs with me, runs without me, that's fine. I just don't like this topping tail in the 15-second. Plus, you got volume. Selling volume is pretty high. If we jump over to a 30-second, it gives you a little bit better idea. But if you look at this, this is a huge topping tail right here. And you've got volume. That's bad. Of course, you had volume in here. But yeah, the MACD is curling up, but you got to look at the candles and get the sentiment. And of course, we had the RVOL of 58, but I mean, if you look at that, that's crazy because the selling volume. Now, if we could break this right here, 6.25, if we could break to 6.25. We might be able to do it. I am going to pass on this trade. There you go. Well, like I said, if you could break that 6.25, now you're at 650. You got yourself 25 cents. You might want to lock it in because, yeah, we broke 6.25, and now we're right up here. The 6.5. 6.5 is good. Yeah, see, I just don't like this just because of the volume. That's why I didn't play it. I just didn't like the volume. I could have gotten myself 25 cents, but hey, I just move on. You have an inside bar right here. You have a break of it. You have the volume coming in, even if you got an in on the break of that. 662, it ran up to 670, but you would have gotten stopped out. If you look at the 30-second, I mean, let's take a look at the 30-second. It showed up like down in this area. We had a huge topping tail. That's why I didn't want to play this, because I did not like that topping tail. It's telling me that the sellers are just pushing it down pretty aggressively. That's why I didn't play it. But right here, you had a bullish engulfing on the 30-second. You had the MACD curling up. You had a PZ score of 5, which is good. And I said if we break the 6.25, you could possibly get it. We broke the 6.25. We broke the 6.25. We ran up here. You got yourself 30 cents. We ran all the way up here. That's close to 50 cents, but not really. But then we had some topping tails here, and we had some topping tails here, and you probably would have sold maybe for small profit or break even. So that's why I just didn't want to play this, because of the topping tail. And you could have played that break and got yourself like a quarter. But you got yourself 25 cents out of that. That would have been good. And if you got that, that's great. I just didn't like it. And also the volume is kind of low. I like things with high volume. High volume. Like MEIP right now, 187. But the problem is it's going in the wrong direction. That could possibly be some dark pool stuff. shorten. Who knows what's going on? But if we look at MEIP, so far we've traded 1 million shares, 1.1 million. Just because you see a trade set up don't mean you should jump right on in. I mean, this was a good trade. 25 cents, awesome trade. I just don't like the volume because if I get in like 5,000 shares, and I sell half, am I going to be able, once we once we pop in and get a quarter and I sell half of my shares, let's say I'm in for 5,000 shares and I'm selling like 2,000 shares and I'm holding 3,000, and then all of a sudden I see this right here, I'm down close to my break even. Let's say I can get out, let's say I'm hitting the hotkey to get out of the whole position. I can't get filled. It's pre-market. You can't just put in a market stop order. Um, and plus the spread on it was like 15 cents, 10 cents, I think. So what happens if you can't get filled and you get filled like down in here, or you had a pop and you can try to get filled right here? Well, you're already in a loser. You had money here, you sold half, came back to your break even, you're trying to get out and it's dumping. The market makers can't fill you because there's too many people trying to get out. That's the kind of things you have to think about. Just because the trade sets up, this is the kind of stuff you need to think about before you get into the trade. Just because it's a perfect setup, we had a T-score of 5. We had bullish engulfing. I mean, that looks great. We got volume, massive volume coming in, more than half, and then it breaks this. You get yourself a quarter, you sell half, comes back to your break even, you're trying to get out, and then you end up with a loser because you went in too heavy. Now, if you went in with like, 500 shares, yeah, that'll be easy to get in and out. So Tilo, I've already played Tilo. I'm not going to play it again. As you can see, it did break that. It broke to 311, went up to 318. We had some volume coming in. $742. Now, let me take. Oh. All right, MEIP, yeah, 39,000. Back over to 1 minute. Let's take a look at the news. Let's go ahead and take a look at the news. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, we have Feds Water speak on BTV. At 8:30, we have U.S. housing start stats. We have U.S. housing. We have at 8:30, we have Charles Schwab earnings call. 8:30, American Express earnings call. 9 o'clock, we have 3M earnings call. 10 o'clock, we have University of Michigan sentiment preliminary. And that is it for today on the 18th. Not very much. Not very much at all. This right here is financial juice. You can come here. You can just click on filter and then go to the United States. Click on that. That gives me all the news. And if you click on filter, I just want the high. I just want the high volatility news, medium, low. I just don't worry about that. But this is what I use is financial juice. That's what I use for the news. So we really don't have much. At 8:30, we got U.S. housing starts, but I don't think that's really going to affect anything. It might. Who knows? All right, TELO. That's the only one we had a score of 375. Look at the daily here. Yeah, we're up in here. Got some resistance that we're backing up against right here. On the 17th, we had a big move as well for TLO. Let's take a look at that. That was after hours. That was after hours. After hours, it kind of moved up. And if we look down here, yeah, that was after hours. I don't play after hours like that. Possibly could. After hours, you got the MACD curling up. You had a pop right there. You had an inside bar right there. You had, right there was a good one if you jump down to a 30-second. Yeah, right here. We had a pop. We had a pullback. We broke the high. We had another small pullback. We broke that right there. Ran up. Another micro pullback. We broke that. We ran up. MACD is going up. So yeah, that was a decent move right there. If you break that, get in there, that's like 10 cents. Micro pullback, you break that, you run up here, about another 10 cents. We got 10 minutes, about 10 minutes to 10 minutes to 8 o'clock. We got some more news coming out. We had news come out here. We had AICO that came out. There was nothing there. Annual financial statements. Approval of amid warrants. FedEx unveils to breaking global first products. There's really not much there for the news. If we go to AICO, as you can see there, that's nothing. GPUS, that's nothing. GTLL, nothing. PHOS, OCGN, OCGN, yeah, that's nothing. GVPR, score of 2.5, but 3,600 volume, not much. So the news is kind of slow. Not much happening. We got TLO on a 1 minute. Just in a channel. Not doing very much. As you can see here, we're just in the channel. And right here, we're just in this channel. Not doing very much. We jump down to a 30-second. You just see not doing much. But X-Pawn, 74,000 volume, RVOL of 5, but yeah, there's probably nothing there. Take a look at it. It's a below the session VWAP. I wouldn't touch it. Plus, we're kind of like grinding sideways here. We had a nice pop right here. That was about it. Still, that was hard to play. Not much volume. We got 74,000 volume there, but there's really nothing there. We got LGHL that just popped up. But there's no catalyst there. There's no news. GVPR of 375, but the volume's low. MNY was the only stock with news. Was Money Hero. Money Hero Group. Want to go grab some more coffee? Alrighty. What we got? Nothing. Slow. Slow! It's Friday. It's slow. Friday. It is slow. Next week will be good. You know, I need to look at my stats to see what days I make the best money. That MEIP that's on the selling. It looks like MEIP is selling on the level 2. MEIP. Yeah, it's coming back down. Yeah, coming back down. MEIP 11,000. MEIP, we had a small move. Well, I won't say small move. That's a 50-cent move, but the problem is below the session VWAP, we've already sold off. Yeah, it's starting to curl back up, but I wouldn't touch it. The reason I wouldn't touch it is because it's known. As you can see here, we've got about 50,000 volume. We've got 3.75 on the T-score. On the scoring system, we got 3.75, but then again, I just wouldn't touch it. The float didn't come through. I don't know why. But the reason I wouldn't touch it is because, well, we are known. We had a huge topping tail here on the 1 minute. I mean, right here, if you look at the 5 minute, look at that bad boy right there. Bam, smoked it right there. Bullish engulfing with volume. And then we got a little doji. It looks like we got a hammer on the 5 minute. We broke the hammer on the 5 minute. I mean, you could have played that right there if, like, candlestick volume 5 minute could break that, and probably try to ride up there and get yourself 30 cents or a quarter. I don't know. I just don't play that. In my playbook, I have very specific trades that I like to do. I don't just jump around to all kinds of different trades. I got one thing that I like to make money on, and that is ride the momentum and get myself a little bit of change. Some people say 10 cents ain't a lot of money, but if you're going in with 5,000 shares, that right there is $500. Do that 1 or 2 times in the morning, you got yourself a $1,000 morning before the market even opens. You can go on about your day. I got one trade, and I like to be good at it. Yeah, VVPR, nothing, 150 volume. I mean, if you even look at VVPR, see, nothing. We got you got ECDA. ECDA is that 30 cent. Yeah, ECDA is that 30 cent stop. 30 cent stock, not stop, stock. But the problem with it is, look at that. Below the session VWAP, we had a huge pop right here at around 4 o'clock in the morning, and we just sold off, just grinded on down. That's why I just don't like playing that. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Huge pop, sold off. Pop, sold off. Pop, sold off. Huge pop, sold off. A couple days later. I mean, pop, sold off. Pop, sold off. I mean that was good. That was good. Huge pop, sold off. What is that telling you? That means, from my experience, about 80 to 90% of these are crap, and they're going to dump. Don't hold them. You can probably make quite a bit of money shorting these. Of course, you have to pay for the locate fees, and if you have to pay for the locates, and if you want to borrow the stocks, you got to pay. You got to pony up some money. That's what I have a hard time with. That's why I don't short. I have a hard time paying up money for something I'm not even in that I'm thinking about trading. Like, okay, I want to short like 1,000 shares or 5,000 shares. Okay, I got to pony up the money. I'm in the hole right away. If there's somebody out there that's really good at shorting stocks, like Sean Deckmar, Sean Deckmar. He's really good at shorting. If you want to learn how to short, you can go to Sean Deckmar. Let's see what Sean. Well, first let's go to YouTube. Let's go to Sean Deckmar. Sean Deckmar. Deckmar is Dekmar. Sean Deckmar. Sean Deckmar. If you want to learn how to short, look this guy up. Sean Deckmar. He shorts these and is very good at it. That's who you want to learn from if you want to learn how to short. Don't learn it from me because you'll lose money. I'm a one-directional trader when it comes to these low floats. I like trading the runners. Okay, with XPOM, we got TELO on RVOL Scanner. Xpon, we've got Xpon, we got TELO. Ooh. We've got Xpon. Xpon, what are you doing? You ain't doing much. You had a little pop with some volume. It's a $1.50 stock. We got TELO that has some massive selling volume right there. We had TELO. As you can see here, it broke. It broke and then it just smoked it down. Yeah. Xpon TELO, we got that. We've got what we got down here. We got nothing down here. What we have up here, we've got TELO. Yeah, TELO with a massive selling. Then we're trying to get a pop. Not going to touch that crap. Don't want that. Let's jump to a 30-second chart. Don't want that. SPRC, that showed up. That's $10 stock. The floats zeros. That didn't come through. 132 VVPR. But VVPR is not really WINT. That's not doing anything. ECDA. These numbers are a little off. PRSO. PRSO had a nice little pop. The problem is there's no catalyst. There's no news. I don't see any news coming out. We've got 7:30. We got 8 o'clock news came out. Yeah, we got no news on anything yet. I might update the code to get this news to be updated every 30 seconds. Press releases being updated like every minute, but I think we can do. Yeah, maybe we can just leave it. Top press releases is being updated every minute. It just runs through and updates it, and it grabs the news. VVPR. Problem with VVPR is there's nothing there. I mean, VVPR trade 400,000 shares so far. So VPR is 400 shares, but we've traded for 423,000 shares so far for the session. There's just not enough there. Not enough there. We've got no news. M10. Hilo might be the only trade. Which I'm happy. I made a little money on it. Look at the trades. Hilo. Made 13 cents on Tilo. SPAI has got news. SPAI. 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 PAI. 1 minute. Let's jump down to 15-second chart. Problem is that let's look at the news. I wouldn't touch this. Do not touch it. Don't touch this. The reason is because we had a pop right here for 1 minute. This right here is 30 seconds. So 2 of these bars is 1 minute. We had a pop. It could not break. Then we had a big sell off. I mean, the volume is drying up right here, but the volume is picking up as we speak. The volume is picking up. That's why I wouldn't touch this. And also another thing, you got to look at this 5 minute. Look at the 5 minute. It popped and then it just kind of sold off. Yes, the daily is looking good. The daily, look at that daily. We had a pop. We had a pullback. We broke that. How we broke that? You break that? Yeah, you ran up. That was a nice trade. But we're very short term. And we're very short term. So we can look at the 5 minute. That's a huge topping tail. I mean, look at that topping tail. That is huge. It ran up and then it's just dumped with volume. That's why I wouldn't touch this. Tilo. We got news on Tilo. We got news on Tilo at 8 o'clock. It just hit. They printed that at 8 a.m., but it didn't come out at 8 a.m. Telomere demonstrates number 1 reverse, blah, 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 gene silencing of STAT1 restoring tumor suppressor in human prostate cancer cells outperforming, I think that's the key word I'm looking for. But Tilo, you know what? This is telling me with Tilo, because if you look at this, that news came out. This news came out on 7/18, which is today at 8 a.m. But we already had, look at the move we made when the market closed yesterday. Somebody knew this before the press release got released today. Little stinkers. How come we can't get in on that? Look at Tilo moving now. Tilo's moving, breaking. Jump to a 30-second. We break that. We go to 311. You got news. You've already got yourself 10 cents. Are we going to run up to 3 1/4? We got the MACD that got curled up. right here. As you can see right here, the MACD was starting to curl up. You could have gotten in on the break of that right there at 311, and you're already up, got up to about 321. So, you know, you got yourself a little pop. Kilo is definitely moving. All right, I'm going to do a recording here real quick. Okay, I just want to go over a news release for Tilo. Earlier, I traded it earlier, and I got this pop right here. But then at 8 o'clock, the news hit at 8 o'clock. So right here at 8:07, as you can see here, the news hit at 8 o'clock. We had some good outperforming news for a pharmaceutical company. We had a TZ score of 5. We have volume on the 1 minute right now is over 500,000. But right here, we had the MACD that was curling up. So the news hit at 8 o'clock. This is 8:07. So once we broke this area right here, we ran up. And then as we broke this area right here, this resistance area, we rode up even more. As it came back down, you go ahead and lock in some profits. As it breaks this, you could have added more. But I would definitely be out of that right now. This was a nice move. The scanner did pick it up. At 8 o'clock, we got Tilo news. And if you got in on that, you had a nice move of about 20 cents with some high volume. You have high volume, you could easily get in and out of this. That's what you're looking for. Alrighty. Yeah, if you look at the 15-second, as you can see, we had a nice pop up here, and as you can see right here, it's just starting to just run back down. Yep. Made your money. You should be out. On a 1 minute, we had a break of this. We had a break of that right there. We broke that, but we just couldn't get up here to the high. I mean, 370, that would have been a beautiful trade. But as you can see here, we've got like a shooting star candle, and as we broke that, needed to be out. As this right here, we got some volume. Once we saw some volume coming in on this bar right here, you could have gotten in on the break of this at 311, and at 318, we had a break of that. You could have sold some of that right there as it dipped back down, and then it broke, because if you look on the 30-second or 15-second, we kind of ran up right here. We had a micro pullback, and it broke that again. We had the MACD still running up, and you could have added, you could have taken a little bit of profits as it pulled back down, take a little bit of profits. As it reverses, you got bullish engulfing on a 15-second. As it broke that, you add to the trade. Now your cost average is down here. I mean, if you're holding like 1,000 shares and you add 1,000 on that break cost average, it would be down in here. And then as you come up here, you can't break that high, and you got these indecision candles right here. As you break this, you get out. Start getting out at about right in here. You can get out. If that breaks, you can always get back in. Because if that broke right there, we could have tested like 3.5. But this is why you want to sell into the pops. We had a pop here, sell half. We broke that flag, and we had a pop. You want to sell into this, because right now this thing is selling off. If you jump to a 30-second, this thing is selling off. You want to sell right in here at this candle. You want to sell right here. If it breaks, you can buy more, but take some profits here. If it breaks this, you can buy more. Your cost average will still be lower. And then the problem is, if you're in like 10,000 shares and you're taking profits here, and let's say you're in 10,000 shares or 5,000 shares, let's say you sold half, you're still in 5,000 shares. As it's breaking here, you might not get filled. I mean, this is pre-market. You just can't just hit the close button and get out market order. That's not going to work. And the market makers fill you while everybody else is trying to get out. Yeah, that's what you have to think about. That's why you want to be selling into these pops. And if it breaks, well, you can add to your position. That's not a problem. But that was a nice little trade right there with the news coming out. Now, if you look at Ross Cameron, I guarantee you he got in on this trade. If you take a look at Ross Cameron, Warrior Trading, guarantee you he got in on this trade. So he does a recap every afternoon of the trades that he did. Guarantee if you look at TELO here, TELO, if you look at Ross Cameron on his wrap-up video for today, guarantee you he got in on this trade. At least I hope he did. If he did, he got some good money, because he goes in heavy, like 5, 10, 15, 20,000 shares I mean, he's definitely the GOAT of pre-market. Right there, news hit right there. And as you can see here, the volume started picking up at 8 o'clock. Yeah, it kind of went down. I bet you that was people taking profits that got in down in here. People got some profits. People got some profits. Yeah, so that's just, yeah. You can't tell me that someone didn't know this. TELO had news, but yet it started running up pre-market. I mean, come on. See right here. Pharmaceuticals tell one significantly increased cell viability SEC filing. When was that? Oh, yeah. Okay. No big deal. So TELO, that was the only ticker we have traded so far. ECDA, 30-cent stock. CDA, ECDA, yeah. Yeah, it definitely popped, but not touching that. Yeah, TLO hit with news. Yeah. If you bring up, if you click on view, sorry about the blindness, but if you click on view, it'll bring up the article. You can read the article. It says Tilo Meyer Pharmaceuticals. I'm thinking what I should do is put a read right at the end there. Read a little small link so you can click on it and it'll open up in your browser. Top press releases. Top. Instead of this saying view, I'm just going to have it say read. Then add, read, or window. I'll do that today, update the code for that. All right, I'm going to wait a few minutes. We got some news coming out at 8. It's 8:27. I'm going to wait. We got KSCP. There ain't nothing there. We got KSCP. There's nothing there. We got XPON. There's nothing. We got ECDA. That's nothing. That's trading below the VWAPs. All of those are trading below the VWAP. We've got nothing here. We got the volume that is just abysmal volume. Abysmal volume. Abysmal volume. Nothing. We got TAC at 8 o'clock news. Let's look at TAC. TAC. Nothing. ETH. Oh, wow. That's algo trading. That looks like algo crap to me. And, of course, we had TLO. KSCP. Minute and a half. We have 8:30 news. Press releases. These companies will send out press releases like at 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30, and 9. They mainly do it between like 7 and 9 because most traders people are just waking up in the morning around 6 o'clock, I guess. I mean, I get up at 6 and I get to the desk at around 6:15 to get my coffee going, get to the desk, get settled in. And then about 7 o'clock, I'm 100% ready. So most traders get to the desk around 7 o'clock. Retail and institutional traders. And there's a lot of brokers that don't even allow for retail traders. They don't even allow people to be trading until like 7 o'clock. So, I mean, I'm with Interactive Brokers, so I can trade whenever. I'm going to be switching over to Cobra Trading. I created an account with them. I just haven't funded it. I need to check on that. Eight thirty. 8:30. Okay, news. Got TAC. There's nothing there. X-Bond 46,000. We got ECDA 69. There's really nothing there. We got TLO so far this session has traded 55 million shares. TLO has traded 55 million shares so far for the session, and it got a float of 17 million. So that has doubled, exchanged hands. So TLO has a float of 17 million, and the volume so far this session is 55 million. That's telling me there's a lot of people trading that, a lot of trades. MEIP popped up on RVOL. Take a look at MEIP. 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 I don't know if there's any news on there or not. MEIP popped up on the RVOL scanner about right up in here. We're just waiting for it to see what comes out with it. So we got some topping tails on that. Yeah. Got to wait until the volume dries up. Down to a 30-second chart. MEIP 6 million float has traded 5 million so far. There's no news on MEIP, so that's kind of, there's no catalyst, no news. 15 seconds, really not. Yeah. I'm thinking if it can break this area right here, 990, we probably get up to 10, maybe test 11. 15 seconds, kind of curling down. The 1 minute is not there. We're just consolidating right now on MEIP. I'm thinking if it can break 10, we'll go to 11. Got MEIP with news.
Order cancelled.
So I traded that, but I traded that, got in at 987, sold at 1018, sold at 1013, sold at 983, and then 991. So that was hard to play because I knew if we broke this area right here, we can try to get it. And I got in on the break at 987, which was right up in here. But we got up to 1020. As soon as we start breaking 10, and we couldn't go any higher. I was looking at the level 2. We just couldn't move, so I just started scaling out. I came back in. I was in the losing trade a little bit and right up in here, and then it popped right here, and then I just got out. I just didn't feel like it was really going to move. I thought it would move since we had news. I did not have time to actually read the, did not have time to actually read the title of it because it was moving. So, if we look at the 15-second, the 15-second was kind of curling down on the 15-second. And then you look at the 30-second, the 30-second, I mean, I've traded it right in here. As we popped and we kind of pulled back, I was kind of hoping we'd go up a little bit more, but we didn't. So, I mean, could it move and break? Could it move and break and go all the way up to 10 and make $1? Yeah. I mean, there's a tight spread. It's a nice tight spread of like 2 to 5 cents, which is pretty decent. MEIP had a score, so that was telling me that the 5-minute was making higher lows. Of course, if you look at the 5-minute, it's definitely making higher lows. Also, that it was telling me that the 15-minute anchored VWAP was good, and the 2-hour anchored VWAP was good, which I might shorten that up a little bit to maybe a 1-hour VWAP. And it was telling me that for the 1 minute that it was positive, which right here, as you can see here, it's trading at like 0.1, which is fine. That's positive. I might have to adjust the MACD setting in my code. In my code, I'm doing, I wrote the logic for a MACD indicator, and if it's above 0.01, it tells me it's good. Maybe I need to go to 0.05. I'm not sure. That's some more testing that needs to be. But if you're in this trade, you need to just possibly think about getting out because it's just sideways. It's just sideways. It's just, we got a pop. Yeah, I made some money, but it wasn't clean. MEI, what is Tilo doing? Tilo's not doing anything. MEIP was the best trade that I had so far because I went in with pretty decent volume. MEIP earlier at 7:30 was bad. You wouldn't have got in on that. But MEIP, it says it has news, and now it kind of went away. What is that? It said it had news? Yeah, MIP. Yeah, okay. I don't know what that was about. MEIP Pharma announces 100 million private placement and initiate Litecoin treasury strategy, becoming first and only publicly traded LTC holder on the national exchange. Okay, so that's good news. We got the good news. The good news was at 8:30. That's why I wanted to hold off, because right here at 8:30, let's take a look at MEIP. Let's see, there was 8 o'clock news on TELO. There was 8:30 news on MEIP. So MEIP, there was news on that. There was news on TELO. Whoops. MEIP. At 8:30, so that's good. At 8:30, the news hit. the news hit right there, I kind of jumped in. I wish I would have gotten in on here. I was slow. I wish I would have gotten in on there and gotten myself a dollar move. I just missed it. I'm pretty sure Ross Cameron got that because he the man of the pre-market. But yeah, I don't. I wish I would have gotten that dollar move. That would have been nice. That would have been a couple $1,000 for the day. But I didn't. What I got was I bought at 987, sold at 1018. Right here, bought at 987 is right about right here, and I got out at 1018. So yeah, I made a little change. We got TLO. So we had TLO and MEIP with news. All right, I think I'm done for the day. I don't like that just because look at it. The volume. I wouldn't touch this just because the volume right there on the selling, the MACD is starting to roll over. And could you get on here at 9:35 and ride it up to maybe 10:35? Sure, you get yourself a dollar maybe. But I like trading. I like to trade my plan. And TILO right now is at 375, but MEIP there's no there's no TZ score for that. No TZ score, so I'm just not going to trade it. I've got my plan and I'm going to stick to it. I don't care if this thing runs up to a $2 move. Just don't care. I'm very disciplined on my plan, and I'm not going to deviate from it. I'm not going to get that fear of missing out because I just don't care if I miss out. It's taken me years to get to that point, but I don't give a crap attitude if it runs without me. I got my plan, and that makes money. So I'll be right back. Yeah, so we got in on this pullback here. That was a 2-bar break on that. I waited until, because right here I had doji. So it was like a 2-bar break of 975 on that break, but I waited till we got right here, about right here, and I was looking at level 2 and we were starting to come in. So I got in there and I got out. I got it like 30 cents, which is pretty decent. Where we got here? CPOP. Oh, wow. I was in there eating some Anna bread that the wife made. So I went out of my office and into the kitchen to eat some banana bread. The wife made some banana bread yesterday, so I had that with a little bit of coffee, and now I'm back. So we had a pop. CPOP. Gosh. 8:31 news, but there's not showing up. Yeah, nothing's really showing up. I mean, C-pop, but really nothing there. Not enough volume. I just can't trade that. What we got here? I mean, C-pop, we got news, announces plans to enter a cryptocurrency market. Ooh, wow. Yeah, that's real good. I mean, C-pop has got some news at like 8:45, but who cares? I mean, 8:45 is news. Like right here, okay, news came out, it popped. Who cares? No volume. Move on. You got Yosh, Yosh. I have to look at this because Yosh had news and then it dropped off with the news. 236,000. Not seeing that. Well, that's Depop. Yeah, so that's probably all the exchanges and some dark pool money with 236,000. We got C-pop that's popping. If we jump down to a 15-second, yeah, to a 30-second, yeah. So it started curling back up. We have news. C-pop announces plans to enter cryptocurrency market. Yeah, it seemed like people liked it. We had the break of that high. It's a 90-cent stock. Now you can get yourself some money on that. You get a little bit of money on that. That's not bad. It was 83 cents. It started out 83 cents, 86 cents a little while ago. So, yeah. We got a little bit of movement. We got Yosh over here. Yosh announces 4-for-1 stock split, whatever. We have C-pop that's popping. C-pop at 8:45 news. On a 30-second chart, it kind of moved up. We had a slight pullback with volume. That's why it was a little concerning. And then we had this right here. Then we had the volume that really started coming in. And then we broke the high right there and we ran up and got 17 cents. So that's pretty good with volume. C-pop is about 279,000 volume. You can get yourself quite a bit of change on that. We had an inside bar right there. The volume's a little bit lower. We had volume increasing. You could have gotten in on the pop of that at 111, rode it up to 117. Did stuff about 5 cents. I mean, 200,000 volume, it's showing, but right here, it's showing 1.2 million. I mean, we've got all the exchanges. I'm getting the data from SIP with all the exchanges, and also I think the dark pool stuff is in there as well. I'd have to double check that though. But yeah, CPOP, we got some RVOL scanners going off. 6.5 relative volume. It was trading at 6.5 the volume, which is true. I mean, if you look back here, I mean, kind of started at 845. We look back here, yeah, there's no volume. But if you look at CPOP, it's right up in here. CPOP, we got some resistance right here, so who knows if we can keep moving. Yep, I was in the kitchen eating. Okay, we're starting to roll back over. If you go to the 1 minute, that's definitely roll back over. And also, right here, this is what you want to see. You had a nice roll back here, but on the 1 minute, we were still moving up on the MACD. And as you can see here, the volume right here on this candle started kicking in on the 1 minute. So if you break that, you could have gotten in on the break with volume. You can get in on the break. The news back here at 8:45. And right there, you could have gotten yourself about 10 cents. Ran up to a high about a quarter. But the thing is, what you want to look at is, yes, we had a pop here. We had, I think that's a spinning top. I had a spinning top right there. We did not break that low. We ran up. We have a shooting star right here. Boom. And we traded below that low. But now it's starting to sell off a little bit. We're looking at the 5 minute. The 5 minute has got some volume coming in, but it's red. So there's some selling coming in. We had a pop and we have a big topping tail. So what this is telling me is right now I would be looking to get out. We have ASCP. There's nothing there. I really wouldn't trade that. There's no volume, but we have CPOP. Yeah, I would not be trading this just because we have a big topping tail right here on the 1 minute. And if you look at the 5 minute, it looks like we're forming a spinning top right there. We got big topping tail. We got a topping tail right there. We got volume that's coming in, but there's some selling. So could it keep moving? Yes, it could. I mean, it could pop all the way up to $1.52. But the thing is, you made your money right here. You made your money right here. You sell into the pop. Right here, we've got a big topping tail. Get out. That's how you play it. Yeah, see, Peter, there's nothing there. MEIP, MEIP, MEIP on a 1 minute. There's nothing there. I mean, there's absolutely no TC score, so there's really nothing there. And KSCP has a pretty good score, but it's like 12,000. Volume is not enough. Not enough. MEIP was nice little trade. I missed that move right there, but I got in like real small right here. Made a little bit of change, like 30 cents. Go back to CPOP. Back to CPOP. CPOP. Yeah, see, it's just selling. Got the 5-minute just coming down. I'd stay away from it. Nine o'clock, no news. Yoast, that was 8:30 news. We had CPOP, that was 8:45 news. MEIP, 8:30 news. And TILO was 8. So these are the two that were good. Yeah. And you got NAOV that was moving, but there's nothing there. NAOV is a score of 375, so okay, I just want to go over some trades that were done this morning. We had TILO, MEIP, and CPOP. TILO had news coming out at 8 o'clock, MEIP news at 8:30, and CPOP news at 8:45. So at TILO, we had the news come out here. So we had the break of the high, and we had a nice little run on TILO. And then MEIP, I missed a big move on this, but we had news at 8:30. We had a pullback. The MACD was running up. We had to break that high. We had a nice dollar move on that. I missed that. So I got in on the pullback, got in on the break of this, and I got like 30 cents on that. So that was there. And then we had CPOP. We had news at 8:45. So I waited for that, and then we had a nice little pullback. So I waited for it to break this high. Buy here. We had a nice little run on a 1 minute, right up here on a 1 minute. You had a topping tail on a 1 minute. So you had a topping tail on a 1 minute. So you want to be selling into these pops, because once this thing starts selling off, it's hard to get out. If you're in right here and you're trying to sell and get out, and you get filled down in here, well, yeah, that's not good. And also you could get filled down in here. The thing is, when you get these pops, you want to sell into these pops. You want to be selling into the pops. You don't have to sell it all. What I normally do is if I got like 5,000 shares, I'll start selling at 1,000 clips. So 1,000, like pop, nice pop, sell, indecision, maybe sell a little bit more. We had a nice pop, and we started, and we couldn't break that high, but we had a big topping tail. As soon as you see that big topping tail, you can start scaling out. So that's how you play it. There was 3 good trades this morning with news. We had news at 8 o'clock, 8:30, and 8:45. That news at 8:45 is a little strange. Most of the time they do it right on the hour or on the half hour. But we had news at 8:45, and we move on. So make your money in the morning and move on for the day. Talk to you later. Bye. WGRX, but yeah, we got some volume coming in, but no news. So this morning, what is it telling us? This morning, it's telling us that we want to buy stuff that has a catalyst. You must have a catalyst. You don't need one, but it's good to have one. As you can see here, we got some volume picking up on some selling, so stay away from that. We have MEIP. MEIP still has a score of 375. MEIP still has a score of 375. So that's telling me that, yeah, that's telling me I need to update my code for the MACD. I wrote my own MACD indicator in the code to give me a score up here to tell me when it's trading in. We got a TLO that's trading in. So MEIP, man, I wish I would have gotten that pop right there. This right here, but I missed it. I was slow on the trigger right there. That would have been a nice $1.50 move. That would have been nice. But slow on the trigger. So instead of being slow on the trigger, I got in here, and then I started getting out there for about 30 cents. Because level 2, it was just telling me it wasn't moving. It wasn't moving. People weren't hitting the ask, so it wasn't moving. It was fizzling out, so I just got out. But I missed it right there. Right there. So you get the break on that because the news came out at 8:30. This is 8:31. You got to be quick. If you jump down to a 30-second chart, right here is the news. Right here, you got to be right here. You have like a little spinning top. You get in on the break of that. The MACD's curling up. You've got volume, a nice big green volume. And you get in on the break of that at 9:20. And you could have sold it like at the close of that, which was 10.60, but you easily got 10.20. You easily got $1 out of that move. But I missed it. Oh well. Next week is another week of trading. I'm done for the day. Actually done for the week. Green for the day. I'm good. I'm done. 9:10. Market opens up in 20 minutes. Do not care. Most people are trying to make their money now. At 9:30, most people are trying to make their money in the market. The the so-called smart money. Don't know why they call that. Is the rest of it just dumb money? Who knows? But the smart money makes it in the pre-market. Yeah, so this is what you're mainly looking for. And if you jump down to a 15-second, you could even trade a 15-second chart. So you have here 1, 2, 3, 4. You had the move right there. You had an inside bar right here. It didn't break the low of that, and it didn't break the high of that. But once it started breaking the high of that, we had the VWAP session VWAP moving up. This right here moving up. We have, if you go to an anchored VWAP, I'm using a 15-minute anchored VWAP. So if you get in like right here at 8:30, let's say you do a 8:15, somewhere around in here, we have a nice 15-minute VWAP. So it's moving up. If you jump to a 30 seconds, that VWAP, 30 seconds, 15-minute, it's nice moving up, and we can get on in that. TradingView doesn't have an anchored VWAP. What I would like to do for this is, once people start using this scanner, what I like to do is just go ahead and design a charting system. Just go ahead and write the code for the charting system. So when you actually click on, like when you click on MIP, when you click on that, it will open up a chart, and it will open it up to like a 1-minute chart, automatically a 1-minute chart with 15-minute VWAP, so you can see where it's at, and then maybe go to a 30-second, I don't know. But I like to build a charting platform so where we really don't have to rely on TradingView. We can just go ahead and click on this, and then it automatically opens it up and then puts in the session VWAP, puts in like the MACD, tell us if the MACD is positive and if it's spreading apart, and also show the volume down in there, things like that. So this scoring system right here, maybe we could have it on the charts like MACD. Here's the code, the 15-minute VWAP, there it is. The 5-minute, there it is. It gives you a little text right there. It tells you, hey, it's all green to go. And green light means go. But that's going to be in the future. That would probably be after I get this scanner running really good, and I have like quite a few people using it. Once I get like a few hundred people using it, then maybe I'll start spending the time to actually write the charting platform. So all you got to do is just click on the ticker, and it brings it up. When you click on another ticker like TLO, it'll bring that one up. It'll just refresh the chart with that information. Just put down in the comments and let me know what you think of that. But I'm done for today. Done for the week. NAOV. Ooh. NAOV. NAOV had news at 9 o'clock. So right here at 9 o'clock, it had news and it popped. We were looking at that earlier. I just didn't get in on that. I just didn't like it all that much. If you look at a 30-second chart, yeah, we had an inside bar right here. You could have gotten in on the break of that right there. 30-second chart, 1 minute. I think it popped up on the RVOL. And if you did get in on that, you get right here and you sell it up in here, you make yourself about 5 cents. On a dollar stock, that's not bad. I mean, 30 seconds, trading at like 50,000 shares, 83,000 shares. So that's not including the other exchanges in the dark pool. So, yeah. Oh, wow. CPOP. CPOP, I just looked at level 2, CPOP. That had at 91, 20, 22. Yeah, you got a lot of selling coming in there. I'm looking at the bid for that, and that's going a little crazy. That's a lot higher. Okay. I will be right back. All right, market open up in 8 minutes. What we got here? Tilo has some volume coming in a little bit earlier. All right, we got CERG. What? Why is that? Float 18 million. 800 per. What? I don't know what the heck that is. That's some bad prints right there, probably. We don't have anything. LTM with news, but we got no volume. It's 10%. 7.88 million float, 5,000 volume. There ain't nothing there. Snow Lake advances, blah, blah, blah. We got Yosh that we already know about. CYCN, M10. Yeah, there's really nothing here. ECDA, CPOP, MEIP, and TLO. Those are the ones that people are working on. And if you are looking to trade during market hours, I would look at TELO, MEIP, and CPOP. Those were the ones I'd be looking at. And of course, when it comes back, and of course, when the market opens up, I'm going to be looking at the low floaters, top traded, and biggest gainers, and then, of course, top press releases. But yeah. I had Tilo on the 32nd that, yeah, came down to the VWAP. Had support right here, kind of ran back up. The only bad thing is we have the selling volume right there. That's the only thing. But if you did play that on the break of that right there, yeah, it's just not enough. Not enough money. Look at that. That's kind of ugly. Yeah. Yeah, it's... I mean, on the 1 minute, yeah, we got the 1 minute right there. Just kind of moving up. I mean, maybe, but see, the bad thing is that right there, we broke that, but we couldn't run up here to around 335. So we kind of we couldn't break that. We pulled back up here. We broke it, this area, but it's like we're pulling back. There's no, and the volume is kind of not there. We tried to push, couldn't make it. So that's telling me just don't play it. Even though, look at this, yes, we are moving up. We are moving up. But also, what I'm looking at is this area right in here. I'm looking at this as resistance. So pop, sell off. We have boom. We broke that. Got up here, sold off. Couldn't get up here, sold off. Came up here, sold off. I mean, could we pop this one right here and then come up here when the market opens? Yeah, we could. But I'm just not going to play with it. WINT, RVOL 5, that's not enough. 76,000 volume, but not enough. We got WINT. Yeah. I'm going to start bringing up the low float gainers. Bring it over here to the other window. Top traded. When the market opens up, we can start getting those updated. And the biggest gainers. The biggest gainers. WINT. We got T-low. Yeah. Market's open. Let's see what we got. Pre-market, these scanners are going to be done. So RVOL movers, we could probably keep that up. Top press releases, I think I might just take that out. Oh, wow, look at T-low selling off. We got T-low that's selling off. Got these. Got biggest movers. We got top traded. I can't get everything in there. Biggest movers, maybe. Top traded, maybe. Maybe we can, biggest movers. Low floaters. Let's just see what else. Just see what we can get. Come over here to the EQQ. X-Pawn. We got an X-Pawn. RVOL mover. That's nothing there. Biggest movers. We got BZAI. Wouldn't touch that below the VWAP. Below session VWAP. That's not enough volume. We got Meso. Meso, nothing. And we've got the low floaters right here. We got low floaters. We've got BTCS, BTCS. We got BTCS moving. You can possibly get in on a pullback of that. RVOL movers. RVOL movers are really going to pop in the, is BTCS in there? No. RVOL movers are really going to pop top traded. Let's just get rid of that. And let's just go with these low floaters. The biggest movers. BTCS. That seems like it's moving. You can possibly wait for a pullback on that. BTC, whoops. BTCS. CPOP got halted. BTCS. I need to make a halt scanner. I need a halt scanner. I mean, CPOP got halted. CPOP got halted on the downside. BCC, I mean, BTCS is probably the best one so far. Got BTCS, we got MEIP that's running. Got BTCS. That's on a 15-second. Go to a 30-second, it's still moving. BTCS. $7.90. Can we get $8 move? BTCS. $7.95. Can we get 8? We got 8. We got 8 on the ask. I'm in at $7.90. I'm gonna get out. I don't like that. BTCS just no. We got 8. We got 805, 806. BTM. BTCS was okay. BTCS. Yeah, BTCS, I made like 3 cents on that. That's absolutely nothing. BTCS. Yeah, see, BTCS is starting to curl back down. We got BTM. BTM. Not enough volume in that. There's not enough volume in BTM. BMNR. BMNR. Wouldn't touch BMNR. Get away from that. We got NEG. Not enough volume on NEG. We got TGen. We got TGen with news. We got TGen with news. Where's TGen? Right here. TGen. Tecogen Incorporated announces pricing of public offering. We got a public offering for TGen. Got 300,000 volume so far for TGen. Got the biggest movers, TLN. 44 million float, TLN. CRSP. Thing about this is that you got to pick it. I mean, these low floaters are okay, but the biggest movers, you really have to pick them. What you can do is you can just come over here and pick, like, okay, TLN. TLN is there. We got CRSP. We got EOSO, but that's 238 million. Float, I mean, what we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got that, which I wouldn't trade that. NMG, wouldn't trade that. We got UPXI, wouldn't trade that. That's just wicking all over. So, yeah, I really wouldn't do that. But what you can do is look at TLN, 44 million float. I mean, yeah, that's not a low floater, but it's a $300 stock. So, you know, it is what it is. Some people like to play them. I know I play them every now and then. TLN, let's try and find another one. EOSO. No. No, some of these are going to be halted. That was the change symbol. VVPR, BTM. Got TLO. Wonder what TLO's doing. I was selling off MEIP, selling. UAVS has news. SKBL, but there's really nothing there. We've got UAMY with news. NMG. You can also take the top traded. You can take the top traded up here. Let's get rid of the low floaters. Let's go ahead and put like top traded up here. We got the biggest movers. Biggest movers are the ones with the biggest percentage. The top traded is the ones that have like real high volume. What you can do, like TLO. TLO is kind of selling off, but you know, it's below the session VWAP. You can just take UAVS. That's a $2 stock. MEIP. MEIP is kind of not doing anything either. And then we got like LAWR. You can go in and take a look at that. You can take a look at BZAI. You can kind of take a look at this and see BTBT has news. BTBT, if you looked at top traded and you looked at BTBT, which Bit Digital expands Ethereum holdings following offering. That was at 841. So at 841, yeah, that was BTBT, and it popped up on the top traded. So what you could do, since you're not going to get this move here, but if you look at BTBT, if you look at that BTBT, let's look at a 1 minute. If you look at BTBT, then you are not going to get this move here, but this move up here, you can get this right here with the volume coming in. We have an inside bar right here because that high didn't break that high, that low didn't break that low. And you can go ahead and get on the break right there. So you can look at this BTBT, and it has a TZ score of 5, which means everything's good. It means the 1 minute MACD is good. It means the anchored VWAPs for the 15 2-hour is good. It means the 5 minute is looking good. And you could get in on this, get here, get out here, get yourself 5 cents, maybe 8 cents. I mean, 5 cents may not sound like a lot, but 5 cents, if you can get 5 cents on that, I mean, it's trading 88,000 shares. So if you're trading 5,000 shares times 5 cents is $250. Now you can get in and out of that pretty quickly on 5,000 shares. 10,000 shares will get you $500. For 5,000 shares, you can get yourself $250. And what you're looking for is you don't care about the move from here to here. You're not going to get that big move. What you're looking for is you're looking for a nice momentum up, which you got that. You got people taking profits right here. You got a break of that high, and then you can get in right here and get out at like 5 cents once you see it start fizzling out. And with 5 cents, I mean, look at the spread. It's a penny. I mean, if we look at BT, let me look at this. Yeah, it's a 1 cent spread on my. It's a 1 cent spread on my level 2. So 5 cents, even like 4 cents. Like, who cares? Let's say you get 5 cents. Yeah, big deal. $250. 10,000 shares, $500. Move on. That's how you can play this. So many people are looking for, oh, I want these huge moves. I want these huge moves. Who cares? I'll take a small move with a lot of shares, high volume. I can get in and out of. Don't care about huge moves. You can get in here and put your stop right down there at like 6 cents, and look, and you got like 9 cents, but you're going to get out right there about 5 cents. So yeah, you get yourself 4 or 5 cents, even if you got 4 cents. I mean, if you look at this, even if you got like 5,000 shares, let's say 0.03, because you're going to have to buy it and sell it, you know, and you're hitting it. Maybe you get some slippage. Maybe you only get 3 cents. 5,000 shares on making 3 cents, that's a $150 move. Very easily. And if you look at the 30-second, even at the 30-second, maybe you can even get in better right there. We had a run up, had a micro pullback, get a break of that. Move that up 4 cents. Maybe you added to this and it ran up and you got 10 cents. You know, that's why you want to move down to a lower time frame. You know, 1 minute time frame, yeah, 1 minute time frame, 441. You get up there to like 50. Yeah, you want to jump down to a lower time frame. Even on lower time frame, what you can do is you can get in on the break of this because you have some nice volume. Get on the break of that. Got yourself 4 cents. You had another micro pullback. Maybe you get on the break of this high right here because it's not hitting your stop. It's not hitting your stop. So maybe you add to it. Maybe you got in 5,000 shares here, and then you add to it, and maybe you're in 10,000 shares and you're up here like $10. You're up here 10 cents on 10,000 shares. That's like $1,000. So yeah, that's how you want to play it. Top traded BTBT is kind of moving down. It kind of dropped off the radar. Let's look at LAWR. BTBT had news too, I think. LAWR, that's trading below the VWAP. Don't even be BZAI. That's trading below the VWAP, session VWAP. Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, the MACD's curling up, but I just wouldn't touch it. We have big movers. We got TLN, which is a big mover. Big mover, TLN. Okay, here's another one. TLN. You didn't get in, and TLN has news. Talent Energy stock surges on the plant purchase. Talent Energy. I've traded that before. That's a $320 stock. It's not just a nuclear play. We have a WGRX and RVOL. But this is like a $300 stock. $300 stock. You ran up. Maybe you get in on the break of that. Maybe your stop is down here, $5. I don't know. And it moves up $5. 100 shares, $5. I mean, you tell me. Let's say you get in on the pullback here. You get on the break of this. Put your stop down there at like $2.50, let's say $3, and then you're selling it up in here for $4. 100 shares, $400. I mean, you're looking at like 30,000. I mean, you're looking at let's say 320 times 100. Yeah, you're looking at $32,000. If you got I mean, if you're under the PDT rule, obviously you can't do that. But if you're opening up with a broker that gives you leverage, like right now, I'm trading over $100,000. I can trade with over $100,000. I mean, 32,000. Yeah, that's no big deal. And then you get yourself that kind of move, and you make yourself $400 on 100 shares. So just because it says $300 for a price doesn't mean anything. I mean, yeah, Apple, Nvidia, the Google, I mean, all that, yeah, that might not move $4. Sometimes it does. But this is why this radar, biggest movers will show you, those $300 stocks, but it's with news. And the float is 44 million. And how many shares has it traded so far? TLN has traded volume 1 million so far. So yeah, 44 million float. Yeah, it's traded 1 million so far for the session. Okay, no big deal. $300 stock doesn't mean anything. It's moving. You can get yourself $2. 100 shares, $1. It's $100. 100 shares, $2, that's $200. That's how you can play these. And this, I don't know when it popped up on the scanner. The thing is, these scanners right here, you can't just, here. I mean, you've got low floaters, you got top traded, right there. You got biggest movers, which is right there. You got news. I mean, the news, I normally don't bring up the news. And the reason I don't do that is because I have the news right here, under here. I've got the news. TGN, click on it. I can read it. Any news there? UAVS, click on it. I can read it. Yeah, so right here, TLN news, click it. I can read it. So I normally don't bring up the news. But if you like to trade low floats, only bring up the low floaters. This is going to bring you the biggest movers with the low floats. The low floats is under 20 million. You should not see anything here above 20 mil. 18 and a half. Okay, there you go. 18 and a half mil for BTM. I think that's the biggest one. Yeah. So if you like trading low floats, that's the way to go. If you like doing the top traded is with good volume, nice volume where you can get in and out of. Top traded right here. You're going to see a lot of stocks. You're not going to see TLN top traded here. More than likely, you're going to see it on the biggest movers. But yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to pick one of these, like top traded, low floaters. If you like trading them, only look at low floaters. Don't be trying to look at every single scanner that I've done. You're going to drive yourself nuts. So pick one and move on with it. Pick one, top traded, get you a chart like this, and go to like biggest movers, and you can do like BZAI. You can do that. Then you come over here, do TLN, and come over here, do Meso, come over here, do SVRE. You can just do like all of those, or you can do what I normally do. BZAI, I would look at that. That's trading below the session VWAP. Move on. TLN, that's trading above the session VWAP. Okay, we have open. It just popped. Open just popped up with news. Carvana is up 100x since the 2022 lows. Could this stock be next? So you have open. I don't know when that's 615 million float. I mean, that's a large float. UAMY with news. There's not enough CRML. There's not enough in there. There's no news on that, but you got CRLM, TLN, open. So open, what you could do is look for a pullback, and then once it starts breaking, then you can just kind of like jump into a 30-second and try to get a trade on that. If it's really moving, you can jump down to a 15-second. I only jump down to a 15-second when it's real high volatility and it's moving. I mean, you got VVPR right here. We got some volume, higher volume than normal. You could have gotten in on the break of that one, but that didn't show up. So, but TLN, we had a flag pattern right here. We had a flag pattern. We had a break of like 2.5, and it ran up to $1.90, $2, $2.80. So yeah, you can even jump down to a 30-second and see what that's like. You got some selling volume in there, but really didn't do much. We had volume right there. If you look at that right there, that's telling me there's volume in there. TLN, you look at the TZ score, it's still 5. We have volume on that candle right there. We had nice volume coming in, so you could have gotten in on the break of that. Get in on the break of the high there, but stop down there at about $1.50 and get yourself $2 move. I mean, you get in 100 shares, it's trading 14,000 shares. So, 100, 200 shares, get yourself like $200, $400. That's pretty easy to do. As you can see right here, open. If you were paying attention to open at a 1 minute, we had a pullback with lower volume. What did it do? It popped. It popped up here. Boom. Got yourself 10-cent move on a $2 stock. 1,000 shares. Let's go to open. Let's take a look at open. Let's analyze that. See how you could have played that. That's a 1 minute. Open. Where is open? Open right here. It's TZ score of 5. We have news, the Carvana news thing. So open, you could have looked at open. Then you jump down to a 30-second chart. 30-second chart, you're selling off. You're not making a higher high, but right there, you got a doji. It's not making a lower low. You could have done a 2-bar break on that. Could have waited till the volume picked up here. Do a 2-bar break on that. 2-bar break on that. You got your stop at you got a tight stop at 5 cents. You move up here to 10 cents. That's a 2-to-1 move right there. You got to pick a couple stocks right here. You just got to pick a couple of them and then run with them. Like CRML. I had that one up there. once a CRML, once you saw it come down here to the VWAP, and then that opened up and it sold off, but didn't make a lower low and it's starting to move up, you want to take a look at that. So CRML, you want to take a look at that. So it's selling off. It didn't make a lower low. It made like an inside bar right there. The volume on the selling is kind of concerning. But if you wanted to play, you could do a starter position right here. Put your low down there with about 10 cents, and it ran up to 20 cents. So let's say you do a starter position. I mean, let's say you don't want to do 1,000 shares. Do 200. Do 200 shares. And as it moved up, as it broke that, as it broke up here, you can add 200 shares. Get your cost average down here. Get yourself a little bit of money. You don't need to make a whole lot. You can build it slowly. You can take like $25 a day. Try to make $20, $25, $50 a day and then move on. And then slowly you'll get over that $25,000 mark and you get over the PDT rule. It's all about making winning trades and putting yourself in a good position to make that. But this stuff moves too fast for you to try and trade off of the YouTube channel. I'm going to be downloading as soon as my app certificate gets approved, so the antivirus scanners don't hit me. What I'm going to do is get this to a download link so people can download it and get these scanners in front of you, so you can download it onto your desktop and start using it yourself. In CRML, yeah, so the TZ score is kind of down, so it must be moving down. Yeah. See, the 1 minute we had a pullback. We didn't make that. You could have gotten in on the break of that. If you don't like going to a 30-second chart, you can get on the break of that. Get yourself like 10 cents. 1,000 shares, $100. Make 50, $100 a day, you're good. You'll eventually get over that PDT rule. So I had 3 trades today. MEIP was the best one. Then TELO was good. Then BTCS. I tried to do that. When did I do CS? If I'm looking at the trades, that was at 9:34. Yeah. So BTCS. I tried to do. When was it? Around 9:34. Yeah, it was right up in here. I tried to do it. I got in, it popped a little bit, and then I got out because it was just moving back down. It was right up in here, 9:34. Yeah, so it was right up in here. It kind of popped, kind of ran up. I got myself a little bit of change, and then it started. It couldn't move to level 2. It wasn't pushing it back up, so I just got out. Biggest movers, EOS, ESLDP. If we look at these, and also the ones that I had on my list here, we had this. Look at this. That was topping tail, and we could not break that. It just keeps moving up. PLN, that play is over. That's a 1 minute. That play is over. That plays over right there. We have critical metals. That play was right there. We had a nice pullback. We had a run up. We had a nice pullback. And then we had an inside bar because it didn't break the high, didn't break the low. And then we get in on high of that and we pop that. That inside bar right there, you want to sell into those pops. So you start selling there. Once it starts breaking that, you can get cleanly out of it. I mean, top traded. Let's look at TELO. TELO, yeah, that's just selling off. Open is still good. Look at that. Open was nice. Open's been on the top traded. You can even come down here and take a look at this, and we can do 6. Where's that 6? Take a look at that, maybe, or there's 4. You can do 6 like that if you want. Do 6 like that and have 6 stocks that you're taking a look at. You can do that and have 6 stocks that you're taking a look at, and then you're like, okay, I've got 6 of them. So on the top traded, what you can do, you just put up all 6. Just do open. See, do open. Go to the next one, TLO. Hit enter. Tab it over UAVS. Enter. Tab it. Go to the next one. BZAI. Hit tab, go to the next one, go to MEIP, hit enter, go to the next one, LAWR, and you can just see which ones are there. Now, these right here down at the bottom, I would replace them because they're trading below the session VWAP. So I would replace that. Plus, I would go over here and replace TLO because that's trading below the session VWAP. Open is right here. It was trading above the session VWAP. And then it kind of grinded. And then I don't know when it showed up. It probably showed up like right up in here. Right up in here as top traded. I'm not sure. But we had a perfect 3-bar pullback on this. And then we had a clean break of that. Had a clean break of that. You broke that high, you could add to it and get yourself a nice move. But that's how you do it. ATNF is on a ATNF. Yeah, that's not enough there. So we have open. Let's say you have UAVS. UAVS, that is a little wiki there. TELO, that's trading below the session VWAP. So I would go to the next one, BZAI. Next one. Whoops. MEIP. That's trading below the VWAP, LAWR. That's trading below. Go to the next one, EOSE. I think that's trading above. Yeah, it's trading above. And then when you look at BTCS, that's trading above. Then we got IQ. No, that's not enough volume. That's the top traded. Now you can replace IQ with UPXI. That's the biggest movers. Was it UPXI? That's the biggest mover. So that's trading above the VWAP. So you can keep that. And that's what you want to do. You want to do that probably like around 935. 935, 940. The first 5 minutes is going to be crazy. As you can see, the RVOL movers at at 930, there was just all kinds of them at 931. And then at 930, the market starts settling down and you start getting, okay, what stocks are going to be trending, what institutions are going to be pushing them. And that's what you want to do. So we got UPXI that's kind of moving up, but then you got SLDP. Yeah, there you go. That was the biggest mover, SLDP. We had a little consolidation here on a 2-minute. That's on a 2-minute. How did I get on 2 minute? I don't know. If I hit SLDP, you could have kept that on your radar. This right here, this broke right here, and then of course you had an inside bar right here, then that broke up to here. So SLDP broke, and let's say it doesn't trade below, it got there. It's a 20 cents on a $3 stock. You know, this is how you want to do it. Let me put the indicator on there with the volume. Take that off. Delete the pane, put the volume on there. Or you can even leave that on there. You can see that's grinding up. So there you go. So now you got 6 of them. Right there, you got 6 of them. Get rid of that. Okay. Now you got all 6 of them. So you're waiting for pullbacks. MGRX. MGRX. You can come over here, MGRX. You can hit like Control Tab and go over there, MGRX. There's not enough volume, I don't think, that's really coming in. We got 30 seconds. Yeah, and plus there's no news. If there was news, it would show up right there, kind of like this does. That had news. That had news. There's no catalyst, no news. So, yeah, had 83,000 volume with a relative volume of 10x. Yes, it is moving. Higher volume than normal. But there's no catalyst to push it. So there's no news. That's what you're looking for. So you come back here, make sure you don't miss a trade. That could be setting up. Open could be setting up. This had a pullback. That's coming down to support. That this one, EOSE is kind of, or TEOSE is just kind of breaking the session VWAP. Look at this, UPXI. We had a pullback. We had a break up here. We had a pullback. We had an inside bar right there. 863. Now you got yourself about 20 cents on that move. That one right there as well. That one right there. Get small pop. Go back to the break even. You know, this right here. We had a pullback. We had a pop. That 877. No, that's really nothing. I mean, you got to look at here at 365, 370. That's a 5-cent move. This right here, we got 20-cent moves. So you kind of want to look at that. But EPXI you could do. Let's say you were looking at this because it had a nice bar that's inside the high and low there. A nice bar there that was inside the high and low. So UPXI, you go to UPXI, go to the 1 minute. Yeah, the volume was kind of high, so I probably wouldn't get in that. But yeah, you could get in on the break of that 2-bar break right there and get about 10 cents up to there. So let's say you get on a 2-bar break here and you go to the high right there, about 16 cents. But that's how you do it. MGXR, VCIG, MGRX, but there's no catalyst. See right here, even if you break that, the volume's drying up. Actually, there's really hardly any volume, so you really wouldn't play that. And the top traded, as you can see here, is starting to dry up. The TZ score is not really showing anything, because as you go in later through the day towards, once you get closer to 11 o'clock, we get into lunchtime at 12 o'clock, things dry up. And once it dries up, it's harder to get in and out in big moves. See right here. Pay attention to this. Came down to the VWAP. Buyers pushed it back up. You can get in on the break of that. I mean, this selling candle is kind of high, so that's a little Got this one selling off. SLDP, yeah. UPXI, that was a little pop. This one I had BTCS, 822 to 826, and then it kind of came back down. These are not very clean pullbacks. That's the whole thing. This is trading trading inside here. Trading inside here is hard. Trading inside this is easier. Take a look at that. Why would you try to trade this chop? Even though you get pullbacks and inside bars, why would you try to trade that chop? You want to trade this. You had a slight pullback. You probably want to jump to a 30-second chart and then try to get the break of that high there inside the, get a micro pullback on a 30-second and then try to get that break and try to get this move here. Then you had another one right up in here. Pullback, and they had another one right up in here. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at this right here. We had a pullback. We started pulling back at 933. 933, we had a pullback, and then right up in here, we had 936. We had a pullback, so that's like 3 minutes. The bad thing is these topping tails right here. This is a topping tail. This is a bottoming tail, so it's kind of a little leery. But let's go to BTCS, BTCS. And I actually did trade this. I didn't make any money on it. I think I made like 5 cents on it. I'm not sure. 3 to 5 cents, something like that. But we had a 1 minute. We had a little pullback there at 933. So let's jump down to the 30-second chart. So at 933, we had this right here. We had that right there was your pullback on that 1 minute, that little tail you see. That is this right here. That little tail of that little candle. Okay, so then you get in on the break of that. Well, if you get in on the break of that micro pullback, your stop is 17 cents. And let's say it ran up to 15 cents. That's a 1-to-1. I mean, you got yourself a little trade there. Then we had another pullback right here. That was that 936. That was that pullback. That was that bigger tail right here. You're looking at that. That's the pullback. It's a little concerning with that volume, but the MACD was still running up and separated. So as that MACD was running up and separated, this is your pullback. So this kind of broke, this right here broke the low of that. So I wouldn't be trading that. This right here, doji candle. Then right here, we had another doji candle. We had the volume that was drying up. So then what you want to do is you can get in on a 2-bar break. That's your first bar. That's your second bar. You can get in on a break of that and run up to there as you're kind of drying up right there. Get yourself 15 cents. So what did you do here? You got in here. Maybe you can get yourself 10 cents. Got yourself 15 cents. That's 25 cents. On 1,000 shares, that's $250. So that's how you do it. Now, I didn't make 25 cents. It's hard for me to stream and trade at the same time because I'm talking when I usually just keep my mouth shut. I trade. So a little hard for me, but I can be the shot caller. I can just call the shots and get in from time to time myself. And yeah, that's how you play that. Now, this right here, you don't want to get in. Why? Because it's hurling down. You look at the 1 minute, 1 minute right here, as you can see here, it kind of topped out and it's kind of moving back down. That blue line's kind of moving back down. And this histogram right here is just kind of rolling back over. You want to kind of stay out of that. That's why these trades right here, these trades right up in here, you want to stay out of that because look at that. MACD is separating, running down. Then it kind of topped right there. Topped right there. But the trade is in the morning. Now, you're not going to get from here to here and make yourself $1. So you're not going to be able to make yourself $1. I mean, hindsight's 2020. Oh yeah, I get in here and I get out there and make myself 50 cents. Getting 2,000 shares and I make myself like $1,000 and I'm done for today. Go drink some, you know. But you're not going to do that. You're not going to get $1 move. But what you can do is do 2 trades and get yourself 25 cents. 25 cents on 2,000 shares is $500. Move on for the day. But you have to go in with volume. But yeah, that's how you play it. I mean, this is an inside bar. Would you play that? No. Why? Because we had a pullback. Why would you be playing when we're running down? Why not play it when we're running up? That's open. So there was a lot of trades today. SLDP. I kind of dropped off from the scanner, but yeah, you could have played that. We had a pullback here closer to the VWAP, and then boom. But hey, what's this? Indicator. Know what that blue line is? Sure. Okay. Um. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you got a pop there, but it's below the session VWAP. I don't like it. Could have gotten in on that pop there, but there's just not enough volume there to really. I mean, this is what you're not going to get this move, this whole move, but could you get like 10, 15, 20 cents out of that? Sure. Hmm. The volume moving average. Might be okay. I'm just trying to keep them as clean as possible. TLN. TLN. Let's go ahead and replace this one. TLN. There you go. TLN. That's that $300 stock. So $2 moves, $200. And of course, we have BZAI. BZAI, that's below the session VWAP. I don't care if it's a TC score of 375, just don't care. And there's something up with the data on it. There's no 43 million shares. Now, BZAI, maybe for the session, BZAI traded, yeah, for the session, it's 43 million shares. I don't know why this data is coming in like that, where I'm getting it from. I might have to move that around. It's not the code that I wrote that is wrong with the volume for the 1 minute. It's the API service that I'm getting the data from. I might have to contact them. I thought they fixed that. And there's other traders that are using the service too, so I'm pretty sure that they have complained about it, because there's some quant traders that are using that, I'm sure. And the algo traders are using it, so people are complaining, because if you're doing algo trading and you're going off that volume and it's false for 1 minute, you're going to get screwed. Let's get rid of the RVOL and just take this and just move it down. Yeah, GR. Yeah, GR was moving up. Yeah, GR's $11 stock, 170 million float. Doesn't mean it won't move. It's just not going to move as fast. And you have open with news, that Carvana news. You have TLN with news. MEIP, TLO. These are the three that were really good to trade in the morning. Those three was really good. 8:30 was that we traded that. 8 o'clock we traded that. TLO at 8 o'clock we traded that. 8:30. Yeah. So those were good. I'm going to go over them a little bit later. TELO, MEIP, and CPOP were three good ones this morning at 8, 8:30, and 8:45.